Everyone, it's Jess. I'm back with a new tutorial for you. I thought you'd like to follow along today as I was working. This will be especially useful for those of you who have already watched my other videos, and if you haven't seen my other videos, make sure you watch them. This is my watercolor technique, and we're going to be a little bit more advanced today as I show you what I do when I have some issues that arise. So, for example, I have 4 drawings here of this little character called Foxy. I need to colour him, but when I drew him, there's a few things on here that aren't quite right about him. For example, this guy, his head's a little bit too large, and normally when you're drawing, that would be, you know, you'd have to erase the whole thing and redraw it. Well, I like the drawing, I just want to make it a bit smaller, and thankfully Photoshop is a great tool in which to do that. So I'll be doing that, as well as organising my art into layers and groups so that it's very easy to take just one of these pieces of art and duplicate it or use it however it needs to be used. Okay, so first things first, grab our lasso tool here, and oh, I already did that. You want to lasso around. I'm going to lasso around one of the drawings, because I want each one of these to be an individual piece of art so I can organize my art. Command C on a Mac, and we'll make a new piece of art, and we'll change this to inches, and I'm going to still be putting all of the art on one page, but they'll then be in individual groups. So the width I'm going to make quite large. It'll be 10 inches by height 10 inches. Resolution at least 300 pixels per inch, and the color mode should be at CMYK, so it's suitable for printing. Okay, now we're going to give us the watercolor texture paper effect. Go ahead down here and press the group button, followed by the layer mask, which is this one here. Looks a bit like a camera. Okay, go up to edit, fill, and pattern, custom pattern. If you haven't already, click this whirligig right here and add artist surfaces. It will add them to your selection, and you want to click on the second to the last, which is Gouache Light on watercolor. Okay, as you can see, it didn't change anything that you can see on the paper yet, but this box here has gone a darker grey, which means it is full 100% texture right now, which is a little too much texture for me, because I don't want the texture to overwhelm the art. So we're going to go to levels, that was Command L on a Mac, and take this white arrow and swing it over to the middle of this graph, and if you watch this box down here, that just makes it a little lighter, it takes away a bit of the texture. Okay, so now you've got your watercolor paper, and this is the first group. So we are going to put in a new layer, and this will be for the drawing. Command V to paste, and he's a bit small, so we're going to go to Command T to change the size of him. If you hold down the Shift key, you can change the size of him without distorting his shape. If I did not hold down the Shift key, this is what would happen. Ooh, don't like that. So hold the Shift key, and you can pull away. If you'd like it dead in the middle and to grow outwards straight from the center, you can hold the Shift key and the Option key at the same time and drag it out, and it would drag out in a perfect center. Okay, but for me that doesn't really matter. Alright, so we'll just make him a bit bigger, put him down here. I'll put him up here. Okay, press OK. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase around Foxy here. Normally when I show you my videos, I just change the levels, but sometimes when people take my art and they use it for other things, they may accidentally press something here that changes what I've already done, and then they're left with paper marks on the outside. So I just do this to avoid people who are not aware of my method, just to have less headaches. So just clean up around it. I don't go crazy, just in general, a little clean up. And the eraser I'm using is this paintbrush, which is kind of faded. I like this one because then it doesn't accidentally erase my pencil marks, because as most of you know, I keep my pencil drawing in my art. I don't like to erase it. It's not just a guideline for me, it is the actual art. Okay, so we're just gonna erase around here. Okay, so anywhere that there would be color, I basically keep the drawing, and then at the end I might even erase more of this paper, but just to start with, I just get the outside. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up the paper by going to the levels, Command L, and press the white eyedropper tool and click it anywhere on the lightest part of the paper. And as you can see, that cleaned it up. If you need it even more, find another piece of paper. There you go, cleaned it up even more. Okay, now make sure that this layer is on multiply. That's your drawing layer. We're going to name it. I double click on there and name it drawing. I like to keep my stuff very organized. And then we're going to add a color layer. The color layer needs to go underneath your drawing layer, because your drawing layer is transparent. So we'll put that on top. You can just drag it. And your color layer remains on normal, and you're going to call it color. Okay. But first things first, I need to adjust a few things on this drawing before I'm happy with it. So I need to change the size of his head a little bit. So let's say you've done a drawing and you're not quite sure about something on it. This is how you change it. So go ahead and grab whatever it is that you are changing. I'm going to do it with the lasso tool. Okay, carefully go around it. Then you're going to go to Command T again. And I'm just going to reduce the size of the head of it. Might even bring it down a wee bit. That's a bit better. Till I get it in the spot where I'm happy. And press OK. Command D to deselect it. As you can see, it did leave a little mark, so what I would do in that instance is get my paintbrush, get a kind of a grey, okay, and go ahead and zoom right in and just add a little bit there. It doesn't really matter, because once you colour it, you're not going to notice that. Okay, that's better. Okay, so for that guy, he needed his head changed just a little bit. Now I'm going to colour it. So we'll go down to the colour layer. And I'm using my watercolor brush. Obviously that's too small. Make it a bit bigger. And you want to start with the colours, the lightest colours on your painting first. And I like to start with the warm colours. So his white cheeks and his ears and his tummy would be where I start. And I'm going to say the sun's coming from this direction. And just going to hit a few of those areas. As you can see, my colour is on multiply up here because I want to be able to layer the colour on top. So anywhere that light areas would hit, that's where I'm going to start. Okay. And his little cheeks. And then I go to a shadow, and like a blue bluish grey colour. And it always looks a bit funny when you first start putting the colour on. In the beginning here, it's like, oh, yellow and blue. But when it's done, it looks awesome. Okay, as you can see, I'm not changing the colour, I'm just layering colour on top, just like you would a normal watercolour brush. Alright, nice. Okay, and then we'll colour his body. Start with the orange. That I already know. Okay, I didn't like that, so I just pressed Command Z because it's not going to be dark enough. I do this so much that I know. It's just... You have to remember, what do you want your lightest colour to look like? And how many times do you want to layer over it? And remember I am holding this down the whole time. If I let go, it will put another colour on top, another layer of this colour on top, and I want this all to be one solid colour right now. Now I'll add another layer, so I let go. I'm keeping just that outside with the lightest colour. And remember, it's a watercolour painting, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now I'm going to blend a little bit, some of this. As you see, I did the whole color before I even started blending. And I took the smudge tool and I'm just going to gently blend a little bit. It's on this brush right here, the one that the smudge tool comes with. It's a normal one, it's at 40 pixels. You may need to adjust that depending on your computer. I know some people have run into that issue before. You may want to try adjusting the type of brush or the strength of the smudge tool. But for me, just the basic one works well. So I'm just kind of blending a little bit, not too much. I still like the watercolor lines. Just go around and hit a few spots. Okie dokie. And now I'm just going to go through and make it pop by outlining the drawing. Okay, so I'm having a look at what I've done so far, and he's cute, but I have a couple of issues now I've colored him that I need to address. I don't like the shape down here. I need to change this a bit. So I'll show you how I would do it. Now, with the drawing layer, I'm going to just erase here. And I feel like this tail is too thick, so I'm going to erase just down here at the base. And I'm probably going to bring that line in just a smidge. So now I'm going to go to the color layer and I'm going to go ahead and erase that too, just in the shape I want it in. See, that's a bit better. I need to take a bit more of the drawing away. Back to the color and erase till I see, even as professionals, we need to adjust things very often because nobody is perfect. Okay, that's better. I might even take it down a bit more because the base of his tail wouldn't have been as thick right there. Okay, so now I'm going to go, I'm on the color layer and all I'm going to do is go back to my outline color and just outline it again. So that fixed that issue for me. Yeah, I didn't like the way his tail was sitting. Also, I think I would change his leg a little bit here. I'm going to show you how you could do that by bringing it out with the lasso tool. I'm on color. I'm just going to grab this part of his leg. Press Command T. I'm going to bring it out a little. There, that's better. See, I don't like how thin it was looking. That's better. You can even, like, if we go to the corner of this box, you can twist it a bit. So that's better. There we go. So, and as you can see, it's left a white mark. You're like, ah, white mark. Command D. No problemo. Just going to color it in again. I'm still on the color layer. I pressed the color box. Now I'm just going to grab a color that is already on here with the eyedropper tool. Okay. Get my paintbrush. Kind of fill in a little bit. And again. And I know it looks patchy. That's okay. Get a bit darker. Right here. Then take my smudge tool, blend tool, and make it smaller. I'm just going to gently smudge that in. So even when you think you've almost done with a picture, it doesn't mean you're actually done with a picture. Okay, that's better. Although his foot needs to just be brought in a little bit down there, which I'll just quickly get. See, it's good to go, just like you're doing a normal piece of art, you would go in and out just to look at what you were drawing. There we go. Make sure that it looks right. And then I'm just filling back in again. Go ahead and, whoops, blend it. I think it needs to be a bit darker. Smudge tool. And then again, I don't always find the exact same color that I got, but as long as it's close, it doesn't matter to me. And outline it again. As you can see, I did the outline on the color layer, not the drawing layer. Because the drawing layer I want to keep separate. Okay, that's better. Now, I'm just going to clean him up a bit. A lot of people ask me, do you then delete the drawing? Absolutely not. I keep the drawing. Because if I took away the drawing, this is what it would look like. I don't like that. Okay, took away all of the unique part of it. It lost all the texture and the real art feeling for me. I like that. But it doesn't mean I don't clean it up, because I definitely do clean up around the edges. Not a crazy amount, just anywhere I think, I don't really need that bit of pencil right there. But I spend a fair amount of time doing my drawings, so I don't like to waste my time. And honestly, the magic really tends to come in when you're doing the drawing for the first time, a lot of the time, and you try and recreate what you did and you can't do it. For the life of you, it's so hard. Even when you've been drawing for as long as I have, it's just, yeah, you have to take the magic when you get it. So there we go. So that's it. I've cleaned it up. Now what I would do is I would continue to make this very clean and pretty looking, and I would call this group Fox 1, or Fox sitting on stump. So that, and then you can collapse these. Okay, so you've got one group, very neat and tidy, and that's him. He can now be moved, and he's ready to go. You could put him on another piece of artwork. He's going to get used for a lot of things. And then what I would do after that, I won't color anymore, but I would take another one, say this guy, same thing. I would lasso him, copy, and then I would make a new, same way we just did it. Come on, V. There he is. I would still keep it all, though, on the same page, because then they want all of this art, but they can get it individually. It's not going to be one piece of art. It's in separate groups. And let's say, so this would be the drawing layer. I would call it drawing again. I would put it on multiply, add another layer. This would be your color layer that you keep on normal. And then I would name this group Fox back turned. So you know which one is which. And once I'd finished with him, I would have individual groups, and then I would have all four eventually, all colored, all easy to get to. If you wanted to just take one of these, you could control right click on a group and duplicate group, and you could put it on a new file and press OK, and boom, you've got a new one. Okay, so this is a great way to organize your art by putting them in groups. Also by keeping your drawing and your color layer separate in case you need to make changes. So it's just a great way to organize art, and this is definitely a more advanced, more practical approach. This is real life art. This is when it gets used a lot for different things. So this is a great thing to learn. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and let me know if there's other things you want to learn. I'm hoping to do a tutorial on watercolor brushes, how you can make your own, as I think that would be a fun thing to share with everybody. Okay, have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, guys. Bye.